You're watching QPTV Daily Social Live, QPTV.org's live daily show. I'm your host for today, James. Let's get started. Hello. And now we're back with QPTV's Daily Social Live. Glad to be here. Before we get started with all of the fun and entertaining and interesting and educational, wonderful things you can find on QPTV.org. Today, we're just going to let you know a few updates that you need to know. First of all, QPTV's channels and website are currently under construction and maintenance. We ask for your patience while we make things better. Program submissions to QPTV's web file upload portal are not currently available. Please do not send in your files for processing via web or email. Also, we have a quick COVID-19 update. Go to qptv.org/coronavirus. We don't have the text for that on the screen yet, but go there. We have a ton of resources, information links, and videos on COVID-19, and especially COVID-19 in Queens. QPTV's own Queens Conversations and Queens Perspectives has an ongoing series of episodes focusing on COVID in Queens. Go to qptv.org to check it all out.
Coming back strong. Safe and effective vaccines are coming to all New Yorkers soon. Get vaccinated when it becomes available to you. Learn more at nyc.gov/COVID vaccine.
I'm Dr. Dave Choksi. I recently received my COVID-19 vaccine. And while I'm grateful for the protection that it offers me, like so many others who have been vaccinated, I was thinking about what it means for my loved ones as well. For instance, my daughter finally getting to see her grandparents and making up for a year of lost hugs. I also know that every shot brings us closer to a city that is protected from COVID-19. It's up to us to roll up our sleeves, including New Yorkers who have had COVID-19, like I did, once they've recovered. To my fellow New Yorkers who have already been vaccinated, I have some doctor's orders for you. Please share why you got vaccinated with your family and your neighbors. Help answer their questions by sharing your experience. We need your stories to spread faster than the virus. That's how we're going to turn the corner on this pandemic together.
Hey, let's try something out here on our wonderfully experimental web series streaming show. We need a solid name for this thing. Let's try this out. Let's see. What you want to do is check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. You have all the information on the screen. Screenshot it. Look for us. You could also email us directly at media@qptv.org. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free. Send it right to us. But don't forget, you could also watch us on your cable systems. That's right, we're on Spectrum, RCN, and on Fios. The channels you see there but what you want to do, make sure that you check us out on our website where you can sign up for QPTV's newsletter. You can find out all the updates, including when we'll have updates on the channels. But also, you could also go to qptv.org right now to watch, learn, and create, where we have QPTV's original programs, but if you're also looking, become a producer, provide us with new programs. Go to qptv.org/create, where you can become a channel user. You'll find out what forms and format we accept. Whether you're creating a special or a series, you'll find out how to get that information. We'll be back with more of the show in just a sec.
The borough of Queens is renowned for its diversity, created largely by the waves of immigrants who chose to settle here over many decades. At first, they often tended to live together with others who had similar backgrounds and values, helping to form distinct neighborhoods. Today, Queens is a mosaic of these vibrant and different neighborhoods, so we decided to examine what makes them unique. In a series we call Neighborhood Notes, we'll be looking at the food, the culture, the history, and the people of our colorful Queens neighborhoods. For our first stop, let's visit Astoria.
You won't want to miss this week's Queens Conversations. That looks really amazing. And obviously, you can catch all the episodes of Queens Conversations right here on QPTV.org. Go to QPTV.org/QC to see all of that. Let's get started with a little recap. Not so much a recap, but we'll show you a little bit of what took place on Saturday, which was Queens COVID Remembrance Day. And Queens COVID Remembrance Day was a day to pause and remember the residents of Queens lost to COVID-19 and to celebrate their lives. That started at 1 p.m. on Saturday with the opening ceremony. Then there was a flower. I don't have the specific name in front of me at the moment. My apologies. There was a flower ceremony at 4 p.m. and then a closing ceremony at 7. And QPTV, we covered it live on the channel, and we covered all the three events on the website. So we have that available to you now. You can see that if you go to QPTV.org. Check out our homepage. And the website. So we have that available to you. So we have that available to you now. You can see that if you go. We're live, folks. QPTV.org. Beautiful. You go to the website homepage, and we're right here. You can find the latest QPTV live sign website. So we have that available to you. So we have that available to you now. See that? You can see that. Sorry, technical issues. So let's continue with Queens COVID Remembrance. And what we'll do is we'll play a little bit of that so you can check it out.
That a year ago I could have possibly imagined myself here, but that would not be true. May 1st, 2020 was a far different day than from today for myself and my family. A year ago today would, unbeknownst to us, mark the halfway point in my father's fight against COVID. I took him to the hospital on April 22nd, and the monster would take him from us on May 10th. Our COVID story is like many of yours. Zoom calls, a roller coaster ride of updates from doctors, and the constant unknown of what was coming next. And in the end, the heartbreaking loss of a life that should have never been taken. My father, John Walter, was not only a Queen native, but lived here all of his life. If he was here today instead of me, he'd probably joke that he was here to welcome the Indians. Losing him took some humor, some joy, and some magic out of this borough. And it also robbed the Mets of a diehard fan. Today, these empty benches which stretch before us are some of the Queens residents taken away with my father far too soon. They are a stark representation of those who should be here today. Unfortunately, though, it is not enough. For us to represent all the benches, we would need over another 625 rows to represent the over 9,000 people that we've lost to COVID in this borough alone. Take a moment and think how far back they would be stretching. Then realize that is only one borough in one city in one country. It was truly our goal to reach as many families as possible to represent as much loss as possible. To those families who will find out about this tomorrow and beyond, I want you to know that just because your loved one isn't represented in a portrait here, you are not forgotten. I was recently asked to describe my father in one word. I instantly laughed at this impossible task, because how could you describe such a well-rounded, intelligent, funny, caring, and giving person in one word? His zest for travel, his humor, his passion for good food and wine, his endless love for my mother and my family alone would take paragraphs. I put this impossible task out of my mind, and I began working on this project. And through it, I began collecting the images and names and began to peek into the lives of those submitted. The Glendale Girl Scout leader, the Queens Village fisherman, and the fishing boat captain from Middle Village, the deli owner from Richmond Hill, the community board leader from Forest Hills, the photographer from Sunnyside, the Korean war vet from the Rockaways, the mahjong player from Regal Park, and the priest from Jackson Heights. Fellow transit workers from all over Queens, people born and raised all in Queens like my father, and some from other countries far away from the world that made Queens their home. So many names, so many names, so many lives. And then one day, actually it was in the middle of the night where I lay awake worrying about this day, that word came to me, that one word that would describe my father: life. My father was life. My father was everything that one should be passionate about and love to do and love to see and love to eat and love to lead a magnificent life. All of these empty benches, to someone, each one of them was life. And that is why we are here. That is why no one taken from us from Queens or anywhere else in the world will ever be forgotten. As long as we carry them in our hearts, say their names, and share their images, they will live through us, and they will continue to have life. Thank you.
Another quick break while we fix this last technical issue, the one that's been plaguing me this whole stream. We'll be right back. Pretty sure we got it now. All right, so let's get started on the next part. And again, if you want to check out COVID Remembrance Day in Queens, Queens COVID Remembrance Day. It's an incredibly it's a lot to take in, because there's a lot of people just really pouring out their true emotions and pain of this COVID-19 has done a lot to Queens. You remember back a year ago, Queens was the epicenter, and there was a lot of loss, and not just loss of life, which is incredibly tragic, but changed obviously all facets of life for us. And that was a day to remember all the people lost, and to reflect and to pay our respects. So please check out Queens COVID Remembrance Day on QPTV.org as soon as you can, but it's there for you to watch. So we'll be continuing with our next part. We'll be talking about, that's a long video. So what we'll do, we'll take a quick break while we fix the video. I swear this was fine before, but we'll come back with the correct video. Now we're back. We've been, it's been sort of a thing where on the show we won't necessarily acknowledge that there are gaps in between these recordings or these streams, but I'm acknowledging it now because we're coming back today and we are dealing with some of these technical issues. Obviously, this has been an ongoing process, but getting right back into it. And I'm happy that you've been riding along with us, because as time goes on, it's going to get even more fun. Like right now, we're going to show you a little bit of Flushing Town Hall 1 year later, which was on QPTV, and something you can find on QPTV.org right now. Now, Flushing Town Hall's mission is to bring together people by presenting arts and culture around the world. Though Flushing Town Hall has been closed this last year to keep artists, audience, and its staff safe from COVID-19, Flushing Town Hall has continued to fulfill its mission by presenting programs online through Flushing Town Hall at Home, expanding its reach all around the globe with the help of technology and, of course, the help of QPTV. This 28-minute show will highlight how Flushing Town Hall keeps arts and culture alive amid COVID-19, including staff interviews and program excerpts, such as a virtual tribute to NEA jazz master Jimmy Heath, virtual Diwali festival, Lunar New Year Chinese Temple Bazaar, and Black History Trilogy. Flushing Town Hall mission is to bring together people by representing arts and culture from around the world. Let's take a look a little bit at this program. And bear with us if there are any technical issues, but it's been so far so good. So let's take a chance. And of course, you can go to qptv.org and watch this now if you want to. I think you should finish watching the show, but check it out.
I'm Ellen Kodadek, Executive and Artistic Director of Flushing Town Hall, a Smithsonian affiliate and member of New York City's Cultural Institutions Group. Located in Queens, Flushing Town Hall's mission is to bring people together by presenting arts and culture from around the world. Our staff and I have been working from home since March 2020, and we really miss our Flushing Town Hall family. Our members and audiences and volunteers and staff and tech and production crew, and of course all the artists and performers that we work with throughout the year. We pivoted right away and started virtual programming in March 2020, and we provided over 300 different online programs and served over 45,000 audiences online.
Hello, I'm Clyde Bullard, the jazz producer at Flushing Town Hall, and I'm proud to be part of this organization, which is in Flushing, Queens. And Queens is the one borough that has had more jazz icons live here than anywhere else in the world. I'm talking about Clark Terry, Percy Heath, Tony Bennett, NEA Jazz Master Jimmy Heath, of course, Dizzy Gillespie, and the father of the jazz vernacular himself, Louis Armstrong. And even during this pandemic, our commitment to keep good music in the air and keep producing jazz virtually has been forthgoing. We have produced and presented for you the Mark Wade Trio, the Louis Armstrong Eternity Band with David Ostwald, and the Mala Waldron Quartet. We even presented to you a three-part trilogy called Lioness, Women in Jazz. Now, unfortunately, our beloved conductor, Jimmy Heath, who conducted the Queen's Jazz Orchestra, he passed away at the age of 93. But we put together a virtual tribute to him, a video that's wonderful, which features NEA Jazz Master Paquito de Rivera speaking about him, NEA Jazz Master Jimmy Owens, Mona Heath, and Dorothy Ann Kirk from WBGO Radio, the world's premier jazz station. So now we're going to show you a few clips from that video. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this
What you can do is go to qptv.org. Check that out. If you want to watch the whole program, we'll be right back.
borough of Queens is renowned for its diversity, created largely by the waves of immigrants who chose to settle here over many decades. At first, they often tended to live together with others who had similar backgrounds and values, helping to form distinct neighborhoods. Today, Queens is a mosaic of these vibrant and different neighborhoods. So we decided to examine what makes them unique. In a series we call Neighborhood Notes, we'll be looking at the food, the culture, the history, and the people of our colorful Queens neighborhoods. For our first stop, let's visit Astoria.
Once again, looking forward to that episode of Queen's Conversations. Of course, is with Lucia, Noran, and John. They have amazing conversations with the real people of Queens. We're talking about your elected officials to your, everyday person. So many different people, so many different topics. It's really good stuff. You can check out all the previous episodes on qptv.org/QC and make sure that you check them out on the live stream, which will be this Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on qptv.org. Before we go, we got another thing we want to show to you. Now, actually, we did miss something. I'm sorry, folks, but we want to show you before this again. But actually, since we're here, we'll just do that. Okay, folks. Now, what we had here on qptv.org on April 30th was International Jazz Day. And for 2 years in a row, QPTV, we've been playing the Chapman Roberts Jazz Festival. What we'll play a little bit of that right now. But you can go to qptv.org to find out, well, not just to find out about Jazz Day, but actually watch the special and check out the Jazz Day page. Just look at other fantastic programs brought to you by QPTV. Let's take a very, very quick look.
National Jazz Day was celebrated in 2017 in Havana, Cuba, as the worldwide celebration of jazz as a force for peace, intercultural dialogue, and the international communication.
April is Jazz Appreciation Month throughout the world, and the big celebration day is International Jazz Day, held April 30th and implemented by UNESCO, the United Nations Education, Scientific, and Cultural Organization in 2011. It highlights jazz and the diplomatic role it has played culturally throughout the world. The now annual event was the brainchild of jazz pianist, composer, and UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador Herbie Hancock, who chairs Jazz Day along with the sitting UNESCO Director General. The celebration is recognized on calendars on both UNESCO and the United Nations. There are a lot of people who are unaware that this celebration takes place on an annual basis. I think it would be easier for me to let Jazz explain this herself while I take a back seat. So here is the lady of the hour, Jazz.
First, I would like to say, I am honored and appreciative that the United Nations saw fit to give me my own special month that culminates on April 30th with a global celebration incorporating events in 191 countries. A special shout out to Herbie Hancock, Chapman Roberts, Ron Scott, Daniel J. Leone, Rosalind Nieves, Madeline Johnson, and QPTV for making it all happen in New York City, the jazz mecca of the world. During this stellar month, I reflect upon such historic celebrations as Black, Hispanic, and Women's History Month. Isn't it wonderful that we have these special months? Would that it had happened sooner. In being the most misunderstood genre in the musical rainbow, people say I'm too complicated, or uppity, or just plain bourgeois. My youngest brother, Hip Hop, is always saying to me, "Yo, Miss Jazz, you got to get that paper. Some of your peeps are out here making 1 or 2 CDs a year and may not sell over 50K. Dang. Common and Snoop Dogg sell more than that in their sleep. You got to go in hard if you want to get noticed." Something seems to be twisted. Everyone says jazz is America's original art form, and yet I'm treated like a stepchild. For instance, I never received any of my numerous Grammys during primetime television, and I'm never invited to the ceremony itself. Yes, the camera has never panned to me in the audience, even when seated with my other distinguished colleagues. Even though I'm honored and happy to have my own jazz radio show, I'm reminded that there are far too few others. You can call me, and we will have lots of laughs and listen to some great jazz music too. Maybe on April 30th, International Jazz Day, every radio station around the globe should join me in playing all of the great jazz tunes and in interviewing one of the many available jazz musicians. Let's come together. Relax.
You'll want to check out that program right here on QPTV.org. And many more. Finally, let's see if we could wrap this up today. Tomorrow, tomorrow is Virtual Queen's Day. Let's see. There we go. There we are. Virtual Queen's Day. Join us on the 4th of May as we meet with the members of the Queen's delegation from the Senate and Assembly. Now, obviously, we usually would bring you a wonderful video of us on a bus going to Albany, and it's a whole thing. But as you know, COVID. So we know many of you were disappointed that once more we could not make our annual trip. So we are bringing Albany to you once again. Don't miss the opportunity to hear from our elected officials and celebrate along with the rest of Queens. So you want to be here on QPTV.org tomorrow at 6 p.m. Watch Virtual Queen's Day 2021. All right, folks. And I think that's pretty much going to be it for now. We got to get ready for Virtual Queen's Day and all the other programs, and tightening up some nuts and bolts and making sure that we bring to you everything you need to know about QPTV. What you want to do, go to QPTV.org/daily social. If you want to watch previous episodes, you can, but it's a live show. It's a daily show. You want to keep up with the fresh. So stay subscribed, keep watching, and we'll be back again tomorrow with more of QPTV's Daily Social Live. In the meantime, thank you. Because we can't do this without you. This is what QPTV is all about. We're here for you. We want you to become part of our in real life social network. Go to QPTV.org to find out how to watch, learn, and create with QPTV. Tell your friends about us, share, and subscribe. Stay safe and be well.